Vault opening. Welcome to the vault.
Oh, what's up, you dazzling diamonds and the others? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda Kyle, and this is The Vault. Alrighty, then, you guys. Today I want to talk about the situation that's happening with the podcast. Saul Penduga, MacG. Did Saul Penduga betray MacG? I would say yes and no, in my opinion, and I'll tell you why. You see, a few months ago, I posted a video, the same video that I re uploaded this morning, just to highlight that, I did point this out before, and I said that it was going to happen. And the only reason why, when the things I say are going to happen, I come back to say, well, you know what, guys, I told you so, is because, and I've said in the past, it's very easy to read people, read facial expressions, read body language. It's very easy to do that. So you can know, or if you can do that, you actually know how people are going to move. It's like playing chess. You actually know how people are going to move. And to me, it was very obvious that in due time, Saul Penduga was going to take one of these offers that he constantly spoke about. You know what I mean? You could literally see it on his face. Now, it is said that Saul Penduga is not leaving the podcast, right? He's going to be doing radio and still be on the podcast, which I think is just so winky wonky, and weird. Why would MacG keep him on the podcast? Because time and time again, isn't it that Saul Penduga and MacG have said how radio is dead? Radio is this, radio is that, and the podcast is doing something that is so revolutionary and different, right? To the point where they were telling us that there's a conspiracy where they're trying to take them down. And obviously, they were talking about radio stations and the big guys behind the radio stations. Why is it that now? Because obviously, with all these conversations happening, us as the chillers are now like, yeah, very, very, radio is dead. Thank you, podcast and chill. You are everything, right? Now, one of the members that has been saying all these things for so long is going back to radio. So does that mean that radio is not dead and they were lying to us? You understand? The situation becomes very winky wonky. So why would MacG actually still want to keep Saul on the podcast? It doesn't make any sense. And why would we trust Saul after this? Because obviously, clearly, the main fact that he's going back to radio tells me that all this time that Saul has been on the podcast, he has been lying to us day in and day out. He's fake. He's a liar. And it's right there for everybody to see. And that is my opinion, but it's right there for everybody to see. Right? And then another thing is that Saul Penduga has garnered a lot of influence and fans thanks to the podcast. Everybody stand up and give MacG a round of applause for not only creating employment for people, but making them really hella freaking famous. Saul Penduga is known internationally now because of the podcast, right? And people love Saul. He has a great voice and I would say interesting personality. But I'm starting to believe that he is very, very fake. But I guess in life, we all need a little bit of fake to make it type of situation. That's a fact. I mean, look at Instagram. Everybody's fake. Look at TikTok. Everybody's fake. So you need a little bit of fake to literally make it, right? What is Saul now going to do with the fame and the fans that he's gained from the podcast? He's going to take those people that love him and move. They're going to move with him to the radio station. It's really freaking crazy. So it's like everything that they've built and worked on the podcast, it's going down the drain in a way. I'm not saying that the podcast is going to end, it's going to die. I don't think so, because people do love MacG, but people love MacG and Saul. And let's face it, you guys, if Saul is going to be doing the radio in the morning 5 days a week, at some point he's going to get really tired that he has to balance these. Maybe he can balance these two things, But the cracks are going to eventually start to show. We're gonna see him become a bit more sensitive. Even if in his contract it says, no, you can continue doing the podcast, something is going to change. Something has to change because he's on radio. It's not going to be the Saul that everybody knows and has fallen in love with. This is bad. I don't want to lie. This is bad for Saul. This is going to change. Okay, financially, maybe it's good. I don't know what he's earning on the podcast. That's another thing. Why would he want to take on the radio situation after he said that the radio is dead? I don't know. Maybe he thinks that he can revitalize the radio? Because I really doubt that Saul, one man, can change the face of radio all over the world. It's not going to happen. He lied to us. So, yes and no. He betrayed the podcast. He betrayed the chillers. He betrayed Mac G. But I say yes and no. No, because I saw it. And I'm pretty damn sure Mac G and Ghost Lady saw it too. You heard in the video that I did, the one that I posted before this. It was very pretty obvious. For those that can see, they will see that this guy was going to leave at some point. There's another interview. It was not an interview, man. A podcast episode where Mac G was asking Saul if he knew who was going to be taking over at this particular radio station. And let me run the clip for you guys so you guys can get a better understanding.
What did you think about Skumba and Bad Boy T getting removed from Kaya FM Breakfast?
Oh shit, they're removed.
Yeah, man. Just broke today, right?
Yeah. Hey,
How hectic
radio.
is that?
It's radio. I feel like it's radio. And it's radio, you know?
Who do you think is going to
Why-
do the show?
Hey?
Who do you think is going to do the show?
The new show?
Yeah.
Ooh, that. I definitely see like maybe
Mac knows.
maybe Mo Flavor. Maybe they'll take Mo Flavor
Okay.
and Kuto.
Okay.
They'll take them from Metro and they'll do it.
So who will then be on Metro if they go?
On Metro, then Thomas can do Metro and Thomas can no.
If you are struggling,
Thomas has done breakfast at Metro.
yes, he has.
Who would you like to see on Kaya Breakfast?
Oh, Dineo Ranaka kills her. She's underused. Whoever is there is not doing a right job at Metro. They're undervaluing her. And I'd put her with someone maybe someone with some spunk flavor.
Some flavor.
Fire. I'd see her with and someone unknown, man.
Okay, so you see in that episode, Mac G is asking Saul all these questions, asking him in a way. It seems as if Mac G doesn't know what's going on. He's just asking questions. But if you think back to most of the podcast episodes, Mac G usually knows, and I've said this before, he knows what's happening behind the scenes. Mac G probably has people that call him and tip him off about who's moving how. Now, I don't know, by looking at that clip, if Saul knew that Mac G knew and they were just playing off each other and just, but it's pretty clear to me that Mac G knew. And it's like he was kind of testing Saul. It's like he was kind of testing Saul to see, are you going to tell the truth? What's really freaking going on here? You know what I mean? And that looks like betrayal to me. And it irritates me that, and I don't know if the chillers and people are going to hop on to the new, not to the new, but to the radio station that Saul is going to. But that would really suck. Because we've been told on the podcast for so long that radio is dead, and then we believed it, right? So we were duped. Because there goes Saul. And I understand wanting to grow in life. Saul has a child, wants to make more money probably. But isn't the podcast making these people money? Aren't they making a shitload of money on the podcast? They have a lot going on. Why would Saul want to go somewhere where he will be censored? It's like going backwards, man. It doesn't make any freaking sense. He could have done anything else independently and used the podcast, that name, to grow whatever business or whatever else that he wanted to do. Unless radio is just really his passion. But I mean, he's on the podcast. I mean, my guy. What more do you need? You know, he could have established so many other things from that without going back to radio. I personally just feel like it's a whack ass move. It's whack. It's really freaky dealy whack. But he knows exactly why he did it. I'm just saying, I told you so. It was very obvious that he was going to do this at some point. MacG knew it. MacG saw it. The question is, like I was saying, that in due time, things are going to change. Saul, now in the beginning, when he starts the radio show, he's still probably going to be old Saul. But trust me, those radio people, they're going to jump on his neck at some point. And he's going to change. He's going to change. When those changes start to happen, and he leaves podcasting show, and he will forever, who is going to be the person to take his place? Do you know who I think should take his place? Me. That would be so awesome if I was on the podcast. You know what I mean? I would still do the vault, obviously. But that would be cool. Jokes aside now. This is whack. Period. Right? Anyway, you guys have a nice day. I'll be back next week, Wednesday or Thursday, guys. I am still not feeling well. It's not going to end. It's probably going to be like this till the end of my pregnancy. But like I said, I will try my best to come on, whether it's faceless or this coming week I will do sit-down videos where I show my face. I do owe you guys that much, but yeah, man, a girl, 2022 is showing me flames, baby. This pregnancy, it's killing me. But anyway, you guys, I love you so much. I'll see you in the next one, or you'll hear me in the next one. Be safe today. Yeah. Bye. Happy Youth Day.